the drainage fee, which a lot of people may not understand, but that's been at a flat rate of $6 for a long time on residential, but it's .00266 on impervious area in the commercial. So we have to calculate what the runoff is in commercial to be able to set their fee. That goes into the stormwater fund, and the stormwater fund is for repairing and trying to get the money together to fix the drainage problems around town. And we have to list with the state of Texas what our priorities are on that. We have listed that. Last year we finished Inspiration. Turned out really, really good. And now we've got Red Oak in front of us. And probably, what was the other one we had to start Red Oak?
We've already got the plans ready for Hillside.
Hillside, yeah, those are the two projects this year that are headed in there. But that's over in the water fund. Back to the general fund, which is, like I said, a lot of it is based off salaries and trying to get our people up. I don't know if you looked at the spreadsheet that we put in there in comparison to other cities. You'll see we're still, even with this, below those. And as far as the police and fire go, and some of the cities I've been told, they went up as much as 20% this year. And ours is actually on the base, it's 14.8. I know the rate of inflation this year is like 9%. I don't know where they get that, but anyway, they tell us it's 9%. And so it's a little more than that, but you got to remember we've been doing 2% and 3% annually for a long time, and we've gotten behind. And we've got a good group, and we'd like to retain them and keep them. Really, at first, I looked at it as putting us more competitive, which the police chief said it would put us more competitive. But in looking at some of the numbers, we still got a ways to go for that.
The inflation rate don't count food or gas. That's how they skirt that. So,
I know it's in the red, $128,000. We can, even with this amount, at $75,4168 on your taxes, if you want to go to a lower tax rate, like at 73, it's going to put you $213,000 in the hole. And I know we're trying to build a resume with all our lenders and everything that we're on the way up. And I'm telling you, we are. We just got it, next couple of years are going to be in the red. But after that, we head into the black. And that's even calculating 3% on top of this for the employees annually thereafter. And also calculating in the percentage of landfills and cost of landfills and cost of everything we have to do to, you know, for the city to serve our people. I guess that I have to turn it to the council and the citizens at this point, because what I've done is all I know I can do to try to get the employees where they need to be, you know, and to get where the city, I tried this year to be really realistic with, and I always do, but I really tried hard to get the numbers right so that we wouldn't be running back at mid-year and saying, oh, by the way, there were some things I had to do. The community center, I had to cut that employee to 24 hours, which are open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I thought that was a good deal at that time. The other employees, you know, we didn't really add a position, although I guess you can technically say we did. But we removed that one position, and that gave us the extra money to do what we needed to do. And we're trying to cover everything that needs to be done in the way that it needs to be done, and yet think about the employees of the city.
I think it's a great plan, and I think it's overdue. Thank you.
With that, I guess I'll shut up. Let y'all tell me what you want to do.
What's the deal with the lead and copper? not to make you get up.
This is a pretty lengthy rule. We've been following this rule since 2019 as it was developed by the EPA. And the city of Fort Worth is taking the lead in guiding all the wholesale cities through this because it is a nightmare coming down through the EPA. The goal of the rule revisions is to remove all known sources of lead in your water system in 15 years.
That part I understand.
Yeah, with 15 years.
But what's the deal on copper?
It is also measured the copper limits there, if you're having increased copper limit actions in there. So basically, on that too. So if you got old copper that's in bad. But the main focus, we don't have any problems with copper, is just watching the lead, making sure it's under there. To kind of keep this short where it doesn't end up being an hour-long process, because this is, it really, we've been informing Mr. Gregory along the way, all the workshop materials, having workshops, and we can actually create one night of workshop if you'd like to go into full detail. But basically, this thing
That sounds
is...
terrible.
The workshop sounds terrible.
No, I want to hear it.
You can stay after the council.
Special meeting for you.
As we stand, the draft of the rule was started in 2019. And through all of this, they didn't even have it published, and the rule was released in 2020. And basically, in July of 2021, they actually finalized the rule, and it became effective. Thus, we were waiting for the first guidance in the rule. And that first guidance is that we have to create a lead service inventory. So our staff was looking at how we develop this. Do we use our current utility billing software, and what we need to do in the field. And that all came out in January, and we were waiting on the EPA because the EPA wanted a special template. It took them, we received the template this month. That template is very lengthy, very detailed, and it came with a 168-page guidance on how to use that template. And so we're going through that process now, reviewing that template. That is just the beginning. We have to inventory every account that we have, including our residential accounts, as far as their service line. It's not only our city service, but it's what goes to the resident's house. So that kind of is, yeah, it's been a big deal with regulators, and we're going back and forth with Fort Worth, watching them how they handle it, because we are actually, for the first time, our system stops at the meter, customer takes over at the meter, and we're all still in our right-of-way. Now the EPA is saying that, yes, you can look in the meter box and see what the customer has, but we're not going to take that. You've got to go at least 10 to 15 foot up into the yard, drill a hole, and make sure it is the same as what you have in the meter box. That's what we're looking at and discussing with them. We're discussing those issues now, TCQ and the EPA, because we are leaving right away and entering into private property.
Right.
And so how we handle that and what their guidance is on that. So we have 2,900 accounts. They're growing every day, and we're close to 2,900 accounts, I believe. I remember when I first got here, it was like 2,800, so we're well over 100 accounts more. So we're going to have to physically take an inventory of this, and it's coordination through utility billing, permits, and the coordinator who will be over that, and in my office and field, because there's field data that's got to be collected, coordinate, and the EPA wants us to search all building permit records, just because today it has poly, was it ever had lead 20, 30 years ago. It's a nightmare. Then once we do get this inventory, it has to be posted. It has to be posted where the citizens can access it. It doesn't large from online. And so we have to make sure that the information that's posted does not have any names, address, things like that. They can look up their address on there, and so we're working out those issues as far as keeping the customer private there. Then once we have this plan inventory, then we're required to create